Are you a federal employee that's getting close to retirement and have that TSP that you're not really sure what to do with? Should you invest it? Should you move it? What should be the plan of action? Well, we're going to find out with Anthony coming up next how you should be looking at this TSP when you retire. Welcome into All Things Retirement. Ben George with Anthony Aulffo, certified financial planner and the founder of the Cardinal Wealth Group. Anthony, this is a pretty common question for federal employees, right, that you talk with is, hey, what does this TSP need to be doing once I retire?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, with their pension, it's probably their second most important asset that they're leaving with. And put yourself in the minds of somebody who's maybe only been at one company or been at this a government employee for 15 to 30 years. It's all that they really know a lot of times. So walking them through of like what they have at in the federal plan versus what else is out there can be an eye-opening experience for them.
Yeah, it's a good one. And I know it's a common question, so we want to address it here and kind of talk you through some of those options, what you might consider as well. And again, this is a good opportunity to take advantage of the free assessment that Anthony offers at the Cardinal Wealth Group to begin that Cardinal success journey too. This is some of the things you'll discuss along the way. But for this question here specifically, right, you're retiring with a nice pension and you have that money in the TSP. Should you keep it there, invest it, or should you move it somewhere else, Anthony? So as you're discussing some of the options with people, what is on the table here and what can you consider?
Sure. I mean, the first thing we'll go over is what are the trade-offs or what are the things that they're used to, right? I would look at this as maybe a little bit more of a negative, but having a short lineup of funds. So they have basically the lifestyle funds, which is like your target retirement. You can choose different dates and it'll come up with kind of an already done for you asset allocation. For somebody who's really not into it, this is a nice way to have a nice diversified mix kind of done for you, and it kind of ratchets down, gets more conservative over time. But I like to highlight that's not always what you want in a retirement plan. So while it is nice, if you're going to do it yourself and you don't know much, this is probably an avenue worth considering. However, when you look at it further from a more analysis standpoint, when you get to retirement and that portfolio keeps getting more and more conservative, you might not really want to be in a preservation strategy, meaning like mostly all bonds by the time you're 75. It still might make sense to have more of a balanced allocation of 60% stock and 40% bonds. And so those lifestyle funds in the TSP might not be the best place. Then you have basically what are called their individual funds. And it's basically just 5 funds, U.S. large cap, U.S. small and mid, international, a cash preservation or stable value fund, and a government bond fund. I don't know that I need to tell you, but that really just does not touch the entire universe of investments. So if you're trying to build your own investment portfolio, it's not really giving you a lot to utilize from a tool standpoint. So what we'll talk to them about is all the different tools that you can use in retirement that you get by moving those investments out into an individual retirement account, an IRA, at some other custodian, and having access to professional management where we have basically the universe of investments. So that's probably the first place that I would start. And then the next thing is like if you were trying to make more of a holistic picture with this and incorporate Roth conversions, Roth IRAs, your taxable account, you have a spouse with assets, and you want to look at it all on one roof, it would make a lot more sense, generally speaking, to consolidate that investment at a custodian with your other assets so you can start to do some other financial planning that's super important for somebody getting ready for retirement.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to think through here. How do you help somebody answer the question, Anthony, when they're trying to figure it out what's going to be their best path forward?
Yeah, I mean, I also talk to them about the logistics too, right? So doing required minimum distributions, going through that process via a TSP 401k type of provider is an onerous kind of process. Or if you just need distributions, typically you're going to have to call and request transfers versus where an IRA, you can have that linked ACH to your bank account. If we want to do Roth conversions, you can't do that from a TSP to a Roth. Typically, you're going to have to go from the TSP to an IRA and then convert it to a Roth IRA. So just the logistics of turning your investments into a paycheck or doing Roth conversions or doing required minimum distributions, just talking about that from a more reality, it sounds more like a logistical nightmare to kind of keep it in the TSP. Just organizing your household from a financial planning standpoint as you're preparing for this transition, this journey into retirement, it's going to make it much more efficient process where you can kind of get your arms around it. So those are usually the conversations that we're having. They're not going to be used to getting professional management either in a TSP. So those are really the things that I would be thinking about if I was in the shoes of a government employee getting ready to retire.
And this is part of the work that you do at Cardinal Wealth Group, right? I mean, you work with a number of federal employees and go through this process. Is there anything that's different about the process? Obviously, some of these key decisions here in retirement, like the TSP, but is the overall process much different for federal employees?
Yeah, I mean, so it's really just about you're going to set up an IRA account at a custodian. We have multiple different custodians that we use, like Schwab, Fidelity, LPL, that we would set up an IRA account for them to roll the funds over. We even work with federal employees who are still working that have reached the age of 59 and a half, where they're allowed to do what's called in-service distributions. They can actually roll out their funds while they're still working, still contributing new money to those, and start that relationship even earlier prior to retirement, which is, I think, a nice feature that's allowable. But that allows us really to have that financial planning arrangement where we can help them with all the different other questions, like Social Security timing, which pension option to take, health insurance, whether or not they're eligible or not, and just coordinating their overall financial plan. So the real process is just being able to open up an IRA at another institution, rolling those funds over, and now you've really opened up the universe of investments to become available to that federal employee.
All right, very good. Well, again, if this is a conversation you need to have with an advisor, you can always reach out to the Cardinal Wealth Group at cardinalwg.com. Take that free assessment and begin that Cardinal success journey. A lot to think about as you're heading into retirement. This is just one of those aspects that they can help you with. So again, hopefully this helps you out. If it does, please hit subscribe. If you have any thoughts, drop a comment down below as well on the video. We appreciate hearing from you there as well. But this will do it for us here on All Things Retirement. Thanks for watching or listening wherever you are. We'll talk to you again soon. Anthony, have a good week.
Take care. See you, Ben.
Information provided is for informational purposes only and does not constitute tax, investment, or legal advice. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action.